Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worrying about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. Got time, but money's not something that's free. Seems the roll of the dice never rolls back to me. And oh, it's already gone. A bird in my hand, two cans in the other, start spinning around. Now here comes another, and oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing, and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hang long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worrying about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone.
Jags fans, here we are, a victory week. We actually did a Victory Monday celebration show. It was a short little show last night at halftime of the Monday night game. Hopefully you were around to catch that. If you didn't, you can go back and watch it on VOD for sure. Tonight, we are getting in to the nitty-gritty, the X's and O's. We are breaking down the film from week one. And I got to say, right off the rip, some very uncharacteristic things from the Jaguars offense. Now, I know there's the things going around about Press Taylor calling plays, whatever. Uncharacteristic, but nonetheless, it worked. We won by 10. So I'm not going to harp on the fact that we left probably 10 to 17 points on the board, but we are going to look at some of the plays. Before we get into the film breakdown, this is a fan show, so I do want to get your comments on this. So make sure you get into the chat and let me know what you think about the game. And all of that stuff. Make sure you hit the notification bell. A lot of people are telling me that they're not getting notified when the shows go live, and I wish I could help you. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, I kind of say when I'm going live. I said tonight was going to be a later show. Had to work late tonight, so started a little bit later tonight, 10 p.m. start. But hey, we're out here. We're going to be watching film. For sure. Shout out to the first people in the chat. We're about to jump right into the film because these videos usually get more views from people wanting to see the film breakdowns. But I always shout out the first people in the chat. The Fire of Desire snuck in here first, saying Duval Nolly Full Cab was the first channel member here in the chat with the Blake Bortles emojis. Volkfang, Sea Breacher, Sharney, other channel members in here. So we're just going to jump right into it, boys. We're going to look at some things that I think were massive for the team. And I have a lot of plays queued up. So I may move through some of them quickly. I may spend a little more time on some of them. But let's just jump right into it, shall we? All right, so first things first, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Trevor Lawrence kind of commanding this offense, okay? Let me get my screen so where I can see it here. Okay, I love how he's commanding the offense. I mean, he's calling out the mic here. You can see right off the rip that he's yelling something. Sheriff's listening, right? I love the cohesion here. It's just nice all the way around. So we look at the set that the Jags are in, and they're in what's called a empty set. It's not hard to understand where that name comes from, right? No one in the backfield. And given how the offensive line was a little bit sketchy throughout the game, this was pretty interesting for them to do here. And obviously, Sheriff's still in the game. But look at their formation. They're empty tight. Okay, and this is a staple of Doug Peterson. He loves this empty tight. I mean, everyone is within this pretty close yardage here. And a lot of people don't like that, but it's the opposite of spread, honestly. So we have Brenton Strange in here as a tight end. Evan Ingram's out here as a tight end as well. This is Travis Etienne lined up as a receiver, so you know how they like to do all that. But who we're going to watch here is Calvin Ridley, and I think the offensive line does a pretty good job. I mean, this is a staple cover 3 that the Colts are in. Like, this is Gus Bradley's cover 3. Like, we know that he runs this here. His 4-down lineman, he wants them to try to get pressure on the ball. This guy, he probably has deep thirds. I don't know how they're going to be, like, pattern matching this. No one pattern matches anymore in the NFL, so, like, it used to be common to see if Ridley went out and Jerry Jones went in that they would just communicate and switch, but no one does that anymore. So pick plays are like awesome. Okay, enough about that. So we're going to keep an eye on Calvin Ridley here and the offensive line. I think they're the ones that we want to watch here the most. And we'll take a look. We'll play it out. He calls out the mic. Initial, I mean, that's a good hold there by the offensive line initially. I mean, that's boys, you got to remember, and I know the offensive line like got a bad rap, but like on this play, you're an empty set, and you're giving Trevor, like, look at this. I mean, he's reading the field here. They dropped a bunch of guys in coverage, so they are playing a cover 3 because this corner is going to play a hard cover 3 here, getting Strange. Middle of the field free safety is going to be looking here. So the problem with this defense, and we know this because we saw Gus Bradley a lot here, is if you quarterback extends the play with his legs, your cover 3 is falling apart. And we can see instantly that he's here. He's going to get open, but I love the back shoulder turn that Trevor's like known for nowadays. Rolls out to the left. I mean, I say Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback rolling out to the left I've ever seen. And I know I always say it sounds like a hyperbole, but he is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen rolling out to his opposite throwing hand. You usually never want your quarterback doing that. Nice job here. I mean, just good spacing. I mean, that's just Trevor's athleticism. Good job blocking there. Touchdown. And look, this is the kind of thing that's going to happen when you have Calvin Ridley. I mean, this is it. I mean, he's going to find the soft spots in the zone. He's hard to cover. He had a really good game here. And although this play wasn't designed to hit like this, when you have athletes, then you can get open on plays like this. All right, so I'm not going to be able to hit all of the comments because these film breakdown shows, I got to get through these films quickly, but I will try to get to some. We always say this around here. This is a fan interactive show. So if you say a comment that was good or funny or witty, just type it again. Like, there's no shame here. There's no pride. I want to get to them. Brett Zimmerman says, hello, Jags United. Hello, Brett. 21 Baltus says, was Bigsby even able to advance the Trevor fumble? I thought it was dead where recovered. That's a good question. I think we're going to look at that, though. Film doesn't lie. Let's go, says Rico. 100 miles per hour also says, let's go. Sharney says, I mean, Press called the second half of the games last year, and we were always yoinking leads, so I'm not ready to give up on him. I like that. I didn't know all that. Maybe a tactical choice to run more obscure plays on late downs to throw future opponents off the scent. So Rod Jeeves is saying maybe we went a little vanilla, or we went just kind of odd because we wanted to not give all our plays to the Chiefs. Maybe. I think a divisional opponent, though, in the Colts is actually a more important game than the Chiefs. And I get, like, you want to beat the Chiefs, but you have to beat the Colts to make the playoffs. So I don't know if the vanilla play calling is something that they did, but maybe it was. Steve Breacher says, what coverage would you run as a defense coordinator? So that would depend on the type of team I had, and I won't spend too much time on this. I'm typically a cover 1 guy. So, Gus Bradley's a cover 3. I'm a cover 1 guy. I like to just play man on the outside with the corners and then let the big dogs eat down in the box. 8 guys in the box, man coverage. I know the modern NFL doesn't help well there, but like every elite defensive back coming out of college and high school are man corners. So play man. That's what I would say. All right, we're going to stay on the Ridley train here, okay? I want to talk about something that Ridley can do and then what he brings to us here. Okay, so I love Calvin Ridley's speed out. I mean, they ran this a lot in training camp. They ran this a lot in preseason. And, I mean, this is going to be like teams know it's coming, and they still can't stop it here. Okay, so the Jags ran what's called a listen, this is where when we start using coaching terminology, like – you could disagree with me here, and I'll just quickly say this. So I'm going to call this 11 personnel, okay? So the first number indicates the amount of running backs. For those of you that are new around here, if this is your first video breakdown, I always kind of break this down because you'll hear these terms all the time. The first number is about the running backs. The second number is about the tight ends. So when we talk about our personnel, I would call this 11 personnel because I have one back in the backfield and one tight end. Technically, yes, Evan Ingram is a tight end. Okay, but I've said this time and time again. I don't view Evan Ingram as a tight end. I view him as a receiver. And I've said that in the contract negotiations when we franchise tagged him. It's not fair that he gets franchise tagged as a tight end because he's a wide receiver. That's the bottom line. He gets matchups against the linebackers because of his ability to kind of play in the middle of the field. I wouldn't even say his ability to block. I would just say his ability to play in the middle of the field and to be a big body. But he's a wide receiver. So I'm going to call this 11 personnel. If you want to sit here and call this 12 gun, be my guest. I'm not going to argue over it. I don't really care. What we're going to watch here is Calvin Ridley. And so this is like the Calvin Ridley speed out. Him and Trevor have this down to like a freaking science. Look, here's Gus Bradley's cover 3. Middle thirds, deep thirds, deep thirds. He's playing, look at this out. So I know, I break off here. So when you are playing in this cover 3, you typically don't want to give what's called outs. You don't want to give inside leverage here. Okay, so look, what's going to end up happening, and I'll just take a second here. What's going to end up happening is you're going to have man here, you're going to have man here, you're going to have man here, and then he's in the middle of the field, free safety. Okay, so that's essentially what's going to happen. He's going to, that's what he's going to do. So essentially they're in man defense, okay? When you're in man defense, the thing that kills you the most is something to the inside. So some sort of post here. Now, I'm assuming, this guy's out here in a wide 9. That's a pretty wide. This is Gus Bradley right here, baby. I'm assuming he's going to drop back and try to reroute something out here, but the bottom line is typically you don't want to give up the inside release because, and we see this later in the game, this is the easiest throw for offenses to make, right in front of the middle of the field, right in front of the quarterback's face. So typically when we play cover 3 or cover 1, we play what's called head up. So he's going to be lined up right head up on him. Look where he's lined up. This is what we call outside leverage, and this is far outside leverage. So he's expecting an out route. He is saying, you know what? I'm going to cheat the out route, and I'm going to give you this skinny post, which is really hard because if you run 2 skinny posts right here, he has to pick. Trevor can just look at who he picks and throws it to the other one. So this is pretty unconventional defense right here. So watch Calvin Ridley. He's still going to get the speed out off. Watch this here. That's bread and butter. That's 8 yards. That's 8 yards anytime you want it right there. 8 yards anytime you want it. He cheated that. He cheated the outside leverage there. Little cut block there from Anton Harrison. I love that. Look at this. Watch Anton Harrison here with a little cut block. Ooh. He says, listen, you want to play out there? Listen, because look, the reason why you play out here, and this is what's called a 9 technique, for a defensive lineman. The reason why you play out here in a 9 technique is because it allows you to get an advantage getting to the edge. And if you're really quick, then you can kind of move it back inside. So it is harder to pass block against, obviously easier to run block against. So the pass is coming. Gus Bradley guesses correctly, and the pass is going to come, and then he's going to say, you know what? Rather than just try to keep up with you on the edge, and instead of kicking this back foot way out here and risking some sort of move, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to cut block you. I love it. Watch this. And goodbye. And I love it. But again, that play is just absolutely unstoppable here. Okay, let's look at another one here. So he kind of does it kind of like a curl here more than like a owl, but whatever. Tomato. Okay, so here we're going to see a true 10 personnel. Okay, 1 running back for those of you that are keeping track. 0 tight ends. Okay, so this is what we call 2-by-2 formation. We read left to right, 2-by-2. So we would call this 10 gun 2-by-2. That's what we call this, right? So this is what the coaches would call this in the play here. All right, so again, the Colts are in there cover 3, cover 1. There's kind of the same thing. I mean, based on this press coverage here and based on this press coverage here, I'm assuming that they're definitely playing cover 1 on this side, but they maybe be doing some sort of pattern match palms coverage over here on this side of the boundary, but that doesn't look like it. So this is Gus Bradley through and through. Okay, watch Calvin Ridley at the top of the screen. I mean, look, they're bracketing him. They are legit bracketing, and you'll see this. You'll see this a few times now. Okay, so watch what the Colts are going to do. They're like, all right, he's killing us. We're going to bracket him. So they're going to high low. He's going to go low. He's going to go high. Has to be a perfect throw, perfect route. Watch Ridley carry this vertical. I mean, this dude looks like he's about to run a vertical down your throat, and then he just slams on the brakes. This is why he's one of the best route runners in the league. I mean, watch him here. I mean, that stride. You're thinking. This dude is thinking, oh, shit, he's running a vertical. And we call this your cushion. He has broke my cushion, and he's about to run past me. I'm telling you, my boy is crapping his pants right now. And watch what Ridley does. Slams on the brakes, finds the soft spot. This is what we talked about in the last show. We talked about there'd be some times when we would see Trevor pass up the easy throw for the hard one. I mean, a throw out to the flat here to ETN gets you like 9 yards. But Trevor is a gunslinger, and he's got 1 defender, 2 defender, 3 defender. But he says, you know what? I can fit it through this window. No problem here, boys. That's the gunslinger mentality right there. And should he have probably thrown it to the ETN? Maybe. But look what happens. I mean, you can't argue with the results. I mean, at some point, do you have to get the ball into the hands of your best playmaker? That's the bottom line. Good job there on by the tackles. I mean, just such strong hands, man. I love it. I haven't seen hands that strong since Justin Big Hands Blackman. You guys may remember him. Let's look at another one here. All right, we'll move through these a little bit quicker so we can get to some other stuff. But you'll see some of the same old. Again, I don't know what you want to call this guy. If you want to call him a tight end, I don't call him a tight end. I mean, he allows you to line up tight and run, so maybe we should call him a tight end. Maybe that's fair, but I don't know, man. I'm going to call this 10 gun for me. 2-by-2, off the ball, right? He's on the ball. He's off the ball. Here's your cover 3. Gus Bradley just played cover 1. I don't know what's really going on here. I mean, this is so it seems like some sort of. I don't want to call it a cover. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. There's a cover 5 where half the field is cover 3. And then half the field is cover 1. We call it a cover 5, but maybe they're in that. I don't know. I'm not trying to sit here and break down all that. Okay. All right. So watch Ridley at the bottom of your screen. Again, just the release at the snap, right? Receivers are really judged by their release. He gets there, gets set, just speed out. I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it. Just absolutely nothing you can do about it. All right. And then if he wants to do it deep, he can. And finally, we get a play that's not in gun. Okay, we're not in gun here, finally, right? We actually are in a 2 tight end set. And again, I know I can't be picky here, but there's a lot of times when they would have 3 tight end sets. So here you have Farrell and Strange, who both played a really decent amount of snaps. I mean, Luke Farrell played a bunch of snaps. I mean, I think he was almost up at 40 snaps. That's not something we expected out of Luke Farrell. So you know the coaches like him. All right, so look what we got here. We have Calvin Ridley ISO at the top of the screen. The Colts have walked down, again, they're cover 1. They're a cover 1 team. We talked about this in our pre-show. They're going to run cover 1. 1 high safety. They're going to play in the box, basically saying you're not going to run against us. You're going to have to throw against us, and you're going to throw against our man defense, which that's fine with me. Watch this. So because you have the 2 tight ends here, right? And so since we're under center, I mean, every coach calls it something different, but we have 2 tight ends, so we'll call this 20. I'm sorry. We're going to erase that. That was the wrong. We're going to call this 12 personnel. 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Okay? But he's under center, so we're going to call this 12 ace. Okay? So 12 ace. All right, so now we know we have 2 tight ends. So what this allows us to do is 2 different things. This allows us to run the ball because if we go what's called a hat on a hat, if we split the field in half, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, we're good here. We can get to the outside. We can pull somebody, hat on a hat, and we're good here. Or we can do a play action with max protection, maybe leak out one of these tight ends. We have multiple options here out of ace. Have to be able to run the ball, though, to run it effectively. So here you're going to see it. Play action, max protect. Okay, so we have 2 on 1 over here. 2 tight ends on a tackle, an end. I'm sorry. You have a guard and a center on a tackle. You have a guard and a tackle on a tackle, and then you're 1-on-1ing Anton Harrison out on the edge. And unfortunately, he does lose that matchup. Okay, so again, Anton Harrison, he's young, he's a rookie, so it's going to happen. And they did send this guy from the outside. Good move. Trevor does a good job stepping up into the pocket. This is that jump man stance right here. And look at where Ridley is when he throws the ball. Look at this. Covered up on the hip. I mean, if you're a DB's coach, you are just pumped with this coverage. I mean, you are on Calvin Ridley's hip. You're in man. You're on the inside. You're making them throw a perfect ball to be open. And guess what happens? Perfect ball. Listen, I coached DBs for a long time. We have a saying, you cannot stop a perfect throw and a perfect catch. You cannot stop it. This is an example of not being able to stop a perfect throw and a perfect catch. I mean, that just stride from Ridley is just, look at this stride. Watch his stride. Just, bro, how do you not think he's running vertical every single snap? Doesn't push off. Great catch. Great job there. I mean, he is just special, boys. He is just absolutely special. What a throw, man. If that's not the play of, I know it's not the play of the game, but if this doesn't show the talent level of Trevor, look at this throw, boys. And it's not even about the location, although that is. As soon as he turns from this play action, he's got a guy in his face. So what's he going to do? He's going to step up. You're taught your entire life as a quarterback. Keep your center of gravity, your balance in the middle. Throw off your back foot. Follow through your throw. All these things you're taught all the time. What does Trevor do? Nah, I'll just throw off my back foot or I'll throw off, in the wrong foot. I'll do my jump man throw. I'll throw a perfect spiral. It'll be right where it needs to be, and let's move it forward. I'm telling you, boys, Calvin Ridley is something else. Calvin Ridley is absolutely something else here. All right, I'm going to get to some of these comments, and then we'll get back to the film here in a second. I'm way behind. Like I said, boys, I'm sorry. This is a film breakdown show. You know how they go. Shay says, Shay, who not only is a channel member, but one of my favorite commenters because he brings a big brain to the chat, as we like to call it. He says, Loggeman said on Jaguars today that he spoke with Gus Bradley before the game. Gus mentioned the 2 things he was most worried about was how he'd use Ridley and who would match up with Evan Ingram. And I agree. I did hear that as well. Very good point. It's almost like we didn't need Evan Ingram. And I know there were those drives where we ran it 3 times or had turnovers and, whatever. But it just didn't seem like we needed him. We scored 31 points in an NFL game. Nolly Full Cap says, then we sucked major doo-doo the rest of the year. I'll take a loss to the champs if it means we get more. Okay, so I'm way behind here. The Zay Jones touchdown. We're about to get to that, Duval TV. Brenneman says, can you tell us about your coaching history? You really know ball. Okay, great question. I'll be super, super quick, okay? So, I loved football. Played football my whole life. I played like every different position playing football. I was a little undersized. I was one of those kids whose birthday was like a year early, so I was a year younger than all the kids in my class, so I was a little undersized, whatever. No one cares about that. But I always loved football, and I actually have a family member. My uncle is like a really famous high school coach in Florida. So anyways, I ended up playing soccer at a really high level competitively, but I always loved football. So I got a job as a film guy when I was like 19 or 20. I got a job as a film guy. So I would just sit there and I was data input for film, like a huddle, if you've ever heard of it. And so I'm logging film. I'm like left hash, right hash, 10 personnel, 12. And so I'm like literally doing this, staying up till 1 a.m, getting this film up so the players can watch the next day. I hated it at the time. Absolutely hated it. I was the little grunt work guy. I'm out here logging film. But that taught me so much. Those were some of my best learning moments. When I look at a play, I dissect it in my brain in like a half of a second. And usually I can predict what the offense is going to do because of the way they're lined up. So I ended up moving up through the ranks of coaching, became a defensive coordinator, and then I got a job offer to be an athletic director because of, I would say, my ability to fundraise. Okay, we'll call it that. And so I've been working as an athletic director now for about 10 or 11 years, and I love it. We have a football team at my school. I do help coach that. I'm not the head coach. Don't have that much time, but I love football, and the Jags are my true passion. So there's the story of my life in about 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Okay, let's get back to the film. I want to look at some Trevor Lawrence stuff here. Again, everyone loves this play here. This is the play where he throws it through the tight window. Let's just let it play out first. I love the play action. I mean, this is next level, boys. I mean, this is next level. I mean, I just love this right here. I mean, this is what you're going to see is, again, the Jags love this tight personnel here. You're going to see an ace. Again, another 2 tight end set here. So we're going to call this 12 ace personnel. Okay, another play action. Again, so you see this formation a lot when they run play action. Like I talked about on the last play, that's what this allows you to get. And I think that's why they brought in Strange and they use Farrell and they have Ingram, is because those guys can block really well, and they can be good pass catchers if they need to. They didn't really use Strange or Farrell in the pass catching game, but be looking for that in the Chiefs game. I think you're going to see a lot of this 12 ace personnel against the Chiefs, and you're going to see these guys getting open on screens and other things like that. That's my prediction. So what we're going to see here is just an advanced levels concept. You could call it a smash concept, but essentially Calvin Ridley's going to run a levels mid route here. You're going to see a short route here. And one of these tight ends, I think, runs a deep corner. So you could call this a smash if you want. Smash concept is a corner and a flat, or you could call it a levels concept. I mean, really, you can call it whatever you want. But you're going to see Trevor Lawrence with the play, the motion. Oh, they release Farrell out to the flat. Okay. So again, I mean, Trevor's in a pretty tough spot here. Oh wait, let's not go that far. The 2 tight ends don't do a great job of chipping this edge right here, and he's going to kind of get a free release. But the play is designed for Trevor really to just dump it out quick to Luke Farrell. I mean, you can see that's what the play is designed to do. But he's covered up. Okay, so he does a good job here. I like the wide little rush here. And Evan Ingram's not looking, but he's wide open. And then Calvin Ridley's going to be wide open. But again, this defensive player does a good job of recognizing, even though he can't see it. Give Gus Bradley here for his coaching. He does a good job realizing that this short flat route is probably not his biggest danger, and he probably has some routes happening behind him. So I haven't seen it, but I think he's going to sink. Does a great job sinking right there. You know, maybe a half a second before he baseball turns, and he might have had an interception there. What a throw, and now he's hurt. Because it took him a half of a second too long to recognize that flat route from Luke Farrell wasn't his biggest danger. Right here, he realizes it. Baseball turns. Just a second too late, bud. Good job by Calvin. What a throw, though. What an absolute throw from Trevor. And again, this is week 1, dude. Week 1, and the dude's making throws that put him in the top tier of the league. Yeah, again, throw it to your best player. Let's watch that Zay Jones catch. There's not really much to talk about here. I mean, again, we know what the Colts are going to be in. They're going to be in cover 1, so he's manned up here. Zay Jones is manned up here. He's just responsible for like this triangle cone right here. So with nothing, he's just going to kind of sink. 2 tight ends again, man. So you have 2 tight ends. You got Farrell and you have Strange on the field. And you have Kirk and Zay Jones. So no Ridley and no Evan Ingram. Okay, so the 2 guys that Gus Bradley was afraid of, according to his pregame conversation with Loggeman, were not even on the field on this play. Not even on the field. Okay, so, and it just shows the versatility of and Tank Bigsby's back there. Does he release? Yeah, he releases. Okay. I mean, look where he's at when he throws the ball, dude. So he does one little pump fake here. Let's watch it. A little pump. Okay. Look where he is. He is on the 9.5-yard line, dude. And Trevor's going to put it right in the perfect spot. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. This Trevor Lawrence guy is the real deal. He can throw off balance. He can throw rolling to the opposite side of his arm. He can throw it in tight windows, and he can throw it 5 seconds before the receiver gets there. Yeah, Strange is our upgrade to Chris Manhertz from Guy. I thought they were going to take the Georgia tight end to fill the role. C. Breacher says, just give Trevor the MVP already. Duval TV says, Zay, fire. Washington State Jags fan. What up, Washington State Jags fan? He says, good one. Good win. Hoping for this to continue next week with Jones returning to Kansas City. So, yeah, Chris Jones is returning. Travis Kelce's going to play. I mean, let's go. We're going to have the first home game. I expect us to win. I really do. Nasir Premier says, catch of the season. NFL media hype train tried to say Garrett Wilson was, but definitely wasn't better than Zay's. Well, Garrett Wilson's going to have some trouble when he's got Zach Wilson throwing to him. All right, let's take a look at one more good play, and then we're going to look at 2 bad plays just because we're going to be fair. We're fair around here, okay? We're going to show a couple of things the Jags can work on. Okay, we're going to be fair. All right, but this one is not one of those ones. This is just another situation of just having just an insanely more talented player. So here's the thing about this Gus Bradley cover 1 defense, which, again, I'm fine with. I'm more of a 3-4 guy because actually I'm more of a 3-3-5 guy. Not getting into that right now. They're all the same thing. I mean, if he was standing up in this exact same spot, we would call it a 3-4. Because this is a shaded nose here. This is they're calling the strength to the right because that's the field. I don't know actually. This is an interesting formation here. It's always passing down, but yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, the ball is going to go to Evan Ingram. And here's the thing. Here's this cover 1. If you can hit these routes at the sidelines, these jump balls, these back shoulders, these curls, then you're going to eat all day. But you're making the offense have to execute a perfect throw and a perfect catch, like I said. And some D coordinators are fine with that. You know, at some level, I'm probably okay with that. Look how they have him on the hash and him here. So, like, they are trying to trick Trevor and be like, hey, maybe we're not in this cover 1, but they probably are. Maybe he's just shading to Calvin Ridley, which is probably the more realistic thing happening here. So you're shading your safety to the Calvin Ridley. Gets to the middle of the field on a back pedal. But look at this throw. Again, it's just like, I'm better. Like, there's no X's and O's. It's just like that's where you're soft on defense. Like, that's where your soft spot is. And, like, I'm just better. I'm just better than you. So, yeah. I'm just better. Thank God for Frank Gore. I may have to get a Frank Gore jersey one day. Respect for showing our bad plays. Well, here they go. All right, so here's the first bad play. This is Trevor Lawrence interception. And again, this isn't really on Trevor Lawrence, right? This is on, Bigsby. But at the same time, there is also someone else to blame here. And we're going to see who else is to blame. Watch this. So he rolls out here and interception. So unfortunately, the offensive line is in this. Remember, we talked about this already. This is our 12 personnel, our 2 tight end sets. And we're going to be an ace. So we know we're either going to run the ball or run a play action, right? That's a no-brainer. When you run play action, you have to block your guy. And we're going to see he gets insane penetration here from the interior. He gets insane penetration here as well. And it's going to force Trevor to have to throw the ball a little bit earlier than he wants to. I mean, Bigsby should have caught it, but not great. Not great. I mean, and again, you combine this with the fluky play where they get the touchdown on when the play was, everyone thought the play was dead, and Now you're seeing how this game should have been like a lot bigger blowout than it was. But I'm not going to harp on Tank Bigsby here. I mean, Tank Bigsby is going to be his own harshest critic. Like, I don't need to sit here and like bash on him. He is trying to support his family by playing this game. You don't think that he's his harshest critic there? Here's a play I can actually get on. And again, not getting into who's calling what plays, and I like that we're doing certain things. But in a 4th and 1 situation, okay, we're going to be lined up in a 10 gun, right? So 1 running back, 0 tight ends. I know they're tight ends, guys. I know they're tight ends, but they're lined up in this bunch formation to the field. So I'm going to call them receivers, okay? I'm going to call them receivers. And as long as all the coaches are on the same page, we can call them whatever we want. So we're all going to be on the same page here. All right, so they're in this bunch formation. And I know what you're thinking. Those are actually 3 tight ends out there. So we could actually call this 13 personnel if we wanted to, but we're not. We're going to call it 10. You know why? Because if they were 13 personnel, that would indicate that they were 3 tight ends. And if we're going to indicate that they're tight ends, then we're also going to indicate that they can block. That's why I'm not calling them tight ends. All right? So here we go. The snap, quick screen. Oh, Brenton Strange. And to be fair, I don't think this was really even executed great here. I mean, it's just like they got a little too cute. Like he came in and then he came out. Like that's too cute. That's too cute. Like what would have happened if he just would have blown up this guy and he just seals? And again, hindsight's 20/20, you know. And I like the fact that we went for it. But, like, let's not get too cute here. Like, let's just block the guy in front of us. But instead, they're going to do some sort of, like, crisscross kind of stuff. And it's just like, that's too cute. Too cute. Didn't work. Sedan Sesko says, Jags United. The ref is here. Can't wait for the Chiefs game. I got to give Sedan Sesko credit. He is, hands down, the 86th best soccer ref I've ever encountered. And you know what? I've encountered a lot of soccer refs. So being 86th, I mean, that's something. I'll let you guys decide how good that is. It's about 86th best. All right. So that's it for our Trevor Lawrence plays. This is one of my favorite plays of the game. There's not much to talk about. I'm just going to let it play through. This is the Jamal Agnew kick return. Insanely lucky. I mean, this bounce was just I mean, that's just awesome right there. Look at this. Get the box in, boys. I wish you would have kept it outside, just ran through. I mean, whatever. That's the right move. I mean, you can't nitpick that. Like, but you know, I guess. And listen. I'm not going to spend I'm not going to harp on this. And we love Jamal Agnew. But Jamal, you have got to start holding on to the football. That thing is precious and valuable. I love Jamal Agnew. I want him on this team. I can say all that and still say he cost us that Chiefs game by fumbling, okay? Yes, he flips the field. Absolutely. And again, please don't take this the wrong way, but you have got to start holding on to that football like this is the freaking gold nugget that has your future, bro. You can't you can't lose the ball when you hit the ground. You can't. You never know. You never know if a ref's going to call it weird. You never know what's going to happen. Hold on to the football. That's all we're going to say. All right. This is one of my other favorite plays here because you guys know me. If I was an offensive coordinator, which I'm not, but if I was, I would run the ball. I would be the Titans. I would be the Colts. I would get me a bell cow, an absolute bell cow. Bulk up the offensive line and just freaking run the ball down your throats. And here's why. Here's why. 2 things. First of all, it's a pain in the ass to stop. It is a pain in the absolute ass to play a team that's smash mouth, okay? And it does something to your psyche in the second half when you're like, damn, we have 2 more quarters of this smash mouth football. Number 2, when we look at the playoffs and teams that do well in the playoffs, it's teams that can run the ball effectively. So, run the ball. Run the ball. Here we are with Travis Etienne, baby. Travis Etienne. Look at our formation here, boys. Not only do we have 2 tight ends, we have a 3rd tight end, boys. So we are in our elusive, rare 13 ace personnel, baby. I love it. The 13 acer. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to make listen, we're on the left hash. The strength's already being called to the field. The tight ends are to the field. The Colts have all of their strong side players over here. And what's a strong side player? A strong side player is a guy that can take on a block, keep his outside shoulder free, and turn everything back inside. So those are your bulldogs. Those are your guys that get in there, right? So you have all your strong side players here. You have your weak side players here. Not bad athletes, just asked to do different things. So what are the Jags going to do? They're going to set this up pre-snap to say, hey, we're running to the right. Wrong. We're running a counter, baby. We're running a counter. And look what happens here. Maybe it wasn't designed to be a counter, honestly. I have no clue. Tutty. Absolute tutty. Like, I don't know. Like, what it seemed like because they did pull a tight end. Like, they pulled a tight end. So, I assumed that this play was designed to hit to the weak side. Sea Breacher with the $1.99 super chat. Brett James is going to show up at your front door. He's saying that because Brett James is a huge Jamal Agnew guy. I like Jamal Agnew. I told you guys this story 100 times. I went to the Chiefs game, the playoff game. I sat right in front of his parents. I was high-fiving his parents all freaking game, dude. High-fiving. And when he fumbled, I felt bad. I was like, dang, dude. I root for him. And I want him on this team, and he's very valuable. I can say all of that and also say he needs to work on ball security because we are grown-ups around here. We can have real conversations, and we can talk about that he's one of the most electric players on our team, but he needs to continue to work on ball security. Will it make you feel better if I say something I need to work on? I need to work on volume control, not yelling. We all got stuff to work on. Thank you for the $2 though, Sea Breacher. I'm glad you didn't waste that on some Rainbow Six skin that it would be wasted by no one ever seeing. Okay, let's watch it from this end zone angle here. Is it Strange that pulls? Yeah, I could tell he was pulling a mile away the way he was set. And then the acceleration. Get upfield, Travis. That weak-ass tackling. Let's freaking go. Brenton Strange with the seal. LO, I think he got lost and the pile exploded out. Yeah, that's true. Are you worried about the run blocking still being an issue? I'm worried about the offensive line. And I have been for a while. I hope it's hot AF Sunday. It's always hot in Florida. Jags United needs to work on his Rainbow Six skills. Hey, I don't claim to be a Rainbow Six player. I'm a CSGO 2 player now, dude. After I got the beta drop last week, baby. Let's go. Nah, keep the enthusiasm, bro. That's what makes the film breakdown fun. I appreciate it. Nasir? Cali Jag, I like the way you think. I need to work on crapping on Titans fans' dreams more often. Okay. Let's get to the defense. Because you know what? You guys know I'm a defensive guy. I'm not about to sit here and just hype up the offense and not bring any attention to the defense. And let me just say a couple things about the defense here. Because I did not recognize these two things, until I watched the film. And I watched the film today, this afternoon. Josh Allen had a hell of a game. And I know he had the 3 sacks weren't even that impressive to me. The tackle for loss, the pressures that we're going to look at here in a second, way more impressive than the sacks. I think he got a sack where he tackled Anthony Richardson at the line of scrimmage. Josh Allen showed out. I don't know if it's the fact that he hasn't been paid or that he wasn't named a captain, but my man was nutty on Sunday. The second thing, Travon Walker has made that second step. I mean, he is just a beast right now. He is clearly one of the most athletic players on the field. And Mike Caldwell is dropping them into coverage regularly, like both of them at any given time. The third thing, I know I said 2, but here's the third thing. Foley Fatukasi was a freaking dog. An absolute dog. Like, it sucked I couldn't, clip his plays because they were, gain of 1, gain of 2. But, if it wasn't for Foley Fatukasi doing what we call a run gap stuffer, sealing legit 2 gaps, then the play would have gone for 10. So Fatukasi is not going to show up on the stats, but just so you guys know, the dude balled out. The dude absolutely balled out. He did his job. as that strong side D tackle 3 technique on that strong side guard's outside shoulder, getting in that gap and just freaking wreaking havoc. He did that. He did that, boys. So put some respect on Foley Fatukasi's name. All right, let's take a look at Josh Allen here first. Josh Allen, let's go. Like, let's freaking go, dude. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to – you guys get a little bored sometimes when I start to talk about the technique that they're in. This is kind of like an overfront, okay? And, again, not going to get into it because it's kind of boring. But, like, the strong side is obviously here. They have 2 tight ends, and they have their nose tackles shaded to the weak side. So we would – and then you have a guy in what's essentially a 4-eye. You have a guy in a 3 technique here. Then you have an outside 5 technique. So, like, this is essentially – they're thinking they're running the ball here. And look at where Josh Allen is. So the defense is ready to go from a run to the strong side. You're in your cover 1. Rayshon Jenkins is walked down, playing as a box player. You have a free safety in Cisco. You have an inside leveraged Campbell. That's how you know he's in man. He doesn't even need to hide it. He's going to be lined up on his inside shoulder, going to force everything outside here. So watch Josh Allen here when the play ends up getting breaking back out to the strong side. Like, the play is designed to hit where it's supposed to hit. It's supposed to hit right here to the strength. He sees Josh Allen, and look at Josh Allen not flying too. Look, Travon Walker almost flew too far upfield. This is the difference between a veteran and someone that's not. Look at Josh Allen. He squeezes down the line of scrimmage. That's what you teach edge players to do. Travon Walker flies upfield. That's not what you want. And because of that, they almost get this hit right here. They almost hit it right up in there. But Josh Allen being the player that he is. So Josh Allen actually bailed out Travon Walker on this play. And that's why I wanted to show it. Because I know Travon Walker's getting the love. But, again, Travon Walker's goal is supposed to be to squeeze here and then keep his outside shoulder free. He flies upfield. Josh Allen bails him out. We can call it what it is. We can call a spade, boys. We can do it. Let's watch it from the end zone. Because you guys know I love the end zone angle. Bam. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I heard they put Devon on IR. I haven't seen that. What's the line look like with Hamilton back? Also, we 100% should have kept Arden Key as a third rusher. I'm not going to say Kalavon played terrible. And how many snaps did he even play? I don't even know. Like, I didn't really, like, notice him doing anything good, but I thought he did his job, what he was asked to do. So let's see how many snaps he played. 36 total. We won't count special teams. So he played on 22 snaps. 22 snaps. Let's see how many Let's see how many snaps total there were. 70. So out of 70 snaps, he played in 22. I don't know. I mean, not absolutely terrible. I mean, he played a decent amount, and I don't think he was that bad. I really don't think he was. Nasir, good call out. Didn't even notice Trayvon on that play. What is Walker going deeper to play the quarterback? Not sure what you mean by that. Or was Walker going deeper? No, because you don't want to really ever do that. Just because it's easier to play inside out than it is to play outside in. 14 pass rush snaps, 0 pressures. What do you think about Justin Fields? I think he's like a decent quarterback. I've been so jaded by Trevor Lawrence that I don't even he's not Trevor. I mean, we all know that. Whatever Chazon did, he didn't have the 8 pressures that Key had this week. All right, Shay. Fine. All right, fine. We should have kept him. We should have kept him and gave him a key to the city because of all that he did in Jacksonville. All right, let's watch this interception here. This was one of my favorite plays, boys. You want to know why? Because you know me, I'm a defensive coordinator. I'm a guy through and through. And really, we have to watch it once from this angle, but we have to watch it from the end zone for you to really understand what the Jags did here. All right, so let's just watch it through. We're going to see a snap here. Just I mean, beautiful interception. Now let's take a look at what actually happened here, boys, from the end zone. All right, and this is and look at Calvin Ridley like right here after the interception. Like, yeah, he's Calvin Ridley has always meant to be a Jaguar. Look at this. Watch Calvin. Let's go. Give him the towel treatment, baby. All right. So let's take a look here. Pre-snap, we got my boy Anthony Richardson. Okay, he just put his running back in motion here. He's looking. Look at him. He's Jenny Thompson. He trained him here out of Jacksonville. He's from Gainesville. He's not that far. He's a more intelligent player than people give him credit for. I will tell you that 100%. He's looking up. He's reading the defense. He's looking at where the mic is. Actually, this is the mic. He's looking at where the pressure's coming from. He sees Andre Cisco walk down. Okay, here's the big deal here. Andre Cisco walked down and Rayshon Jenkins in the middle of the field. That indicates a cover 3 or a cover 1. Okay, so when you're a quarterback and you see this formation, you're thinking, okay, corners can't let anything beat them deep. So we're going to have anything flat, which is the sideline. Anything sideline should be open. Okay, that's what he's thinking pre-snap, because he's playing in the box. You have a third here, you have a third here, and a third here. Okay, you guys know how cover 3 works. Watch what Andre Cisco does right before Anthony Richardson snaps the ball. Just kidding. We're playing a cover 2. I know you can't really see it, but last minute he kind of comes here. He's going to weave and backpedal to the sideline. And so what does this cover 2 do? Now this cover 2 allows you to play 2 deep safeties, but it also allows your corners to now sit flat. Okay, so now let's take a look at it from the reverse angle here. Okay, so remember, Andre Cisco is walked down here. We catch this kind of late. He's backpedaling right as Anthony Richardson's about to snap the ball. So now instead of these guys playing deep thirds, okay, which is what Anthony Richardson thought pre-snap, now we're in a cover 2 where our corners can actually sit at the flats. And because of that, and Anthony Richardson thought this out route or this corner route, and then really the route was poorly run, is going to be open. And look what he does. Got him, boys. Absolutely got him. And really not a great route. I mean, we talk about spacing for wide receivers. It's really important that receivers run their route at the right yardage, because you never want to be like on top of another receiver. And this is on top of another receiver. So not a great route, but at the same time, great job disguising it pre-snap by everybody. It's a team game, boys. It's a team game. All right, here's a forced fumble. We're already 52 minutes in, so we'll try to move quick. Nice job. I mean, Aluakon is just a monster, dude. I mean, he has been. He was probably, I mean, I'm trying to think of the players that got their contracts restructured, and what that basically means is they guaranteed them the entire life of their contract, which doesn't typically happen in the NFL, so I'm happy for them, but it does kind of hurt you financially in the long run. Guys like Aluakon, Kirk, Ingram with the extension, Sheriff, all those guys, Jenkins, they got their contracts restructured to basically be the entire length of their contract, which is great. Saves you on the short term, but you are paying them the full extension of their contract. And all of those guys, I would have been like, meh, about, besides Aluakon. I think he's worth his weight in gold. And take a look at him here. I mean, just explosive. I don't know if you saw him pre-snap where he's at, but like, this was a short yardage situation. This was 4th down. Okay, that's why you're seeing this like cram here. You can see Richardson. Richardson does a good job of selling the QB sneak. Whenever you have like that kind of split in your feet, typically you're indicating a quarterback sneak. So Richardson actually does a really good job here of selling the QB sneak. And really the Colts should have gotten this, because if you go hat for hat, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Colts should have gotten a big gain here. This was a great call by the offensive coordinator. They obviously worked on this. This is one of their 4th down plays. Jags are crashing to the middle, but Aluakon kind of sniffs something right here. He's like, wait a second. Like, why is there this fullback offset to the right? Maybe Aluakon had done his homework, and he knew that when this fullback / tight end, he might have had his right foot opened up a bit. I think I can kind of see that. That maybe indicate where he's going to go. And Aluakon says, no, buddy, I know exactly where you're going. Good luck blocking me. Great job by Campbell as well. I mean, Campbell on the outside doesn't get blocked. Forced a fumble. It was 4th down, didn't matter. Great play there. Great play. watch it from the end zone. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's Campbell. That's Campbell, boys. That's Tyson Campbell. Yeah, the interception was sexy, but that's a freaking bulldog right there. I mean, setting the edge as a corner, getting downfield. Let's go. Let's go. I love that. I love that. Can you clarify the rule on offense advancing the ball after a fumble? Just curious. Love your show, man. Thank you. Thank you, 21 Baltis. To be honest, man, I don't know. Like, let's look it up, dude. Like, I don't know. NFL rule, offense advancing fumble. All right, let's take a look here. A fumbled ball, and I'll make it a little bit bigger because there's some blind people in the back. Those of you that sat in the back of the classroom because you were troublemakers and you like to make your teacher's life not great. Here, I'm going to get big for y'all. A fumbled ball may be recovered in advance by either team, except in American football, after the 2-minute warning in either half or fourth down, when the fumbler is the only offensive player allowed to advance the ball. Otherwise, the ball is ruled dead at the spot of the fumble, except when it is recovered. So apparently, the 2-minute warning or either half or fourth down. So the 2-minute warning or the fourth down, you cannot advance the ball as a fumbler. There you go. I honestly didn't know that either. And that's a very specific rule. That's like golf. If your ball is lied in an unplayable lie, but it's man-made. I don't know. There's another forced fumble here. Look at this walking around. Look at these safeties just walking around like they're freaking out in the joint. I love it. And I love it. Boys, this is it. I mean, we just watched the Jaguars defense disguise their coverage, okay? I'm going to get my big old mug out of the way so you can see this. All right, so look what they do. So pre-snap, they're going to show you, again, we're going to be in cover 2. What's up? We're cover 2. Don't mind us. Just look to the middle of the field, Anthony. Don't you worry. We're going to play soft. Middle of the field is going to be open when you throw that. And then right before the ball is snapped, Cisco's going to come down. Jenkins is going to go to the middle of the field, and then they're going to basically just disguise what they're doing here in the coverage. At the snap. Look at this. This is some advanced acting right here. Cisco comes down. Anthony Richardson does not see it at all. So, again, he's thinking they're in cover 2. He looks up, and he's like, wait a second. There's a lot of white jerseys in the middle of the field, but we're okay. I still see a guy wide open as a running back, so I'm going to just dump it to him. But because Cisco did such a great job disguising that coverage pre-snap, the ball was thrown to the running back in the middle of the field, and because of that, Cisco was right here, made him turn up field. Now we have a vice tackle here. We're going to go both sides, and look what happens. Ball's out. Turnover, boys. Absolute turnover. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, let's look at Josh Allen. We'll look at these last 3 plays are Josh Allen and Trevon Walker. All right, so Josh Allen out here, and again, this is where coaches disagree. I like to call this the 9 technique, okay? Where it gets confusing is like there was this like coach who was like, we're going to call our defense the wide 9. We're going to line them out like way out here, and that kind of threw off the 9 technique. But if we're counting from 0 out both ways, this is technically a 9 technique because if you have a tight end here, this is the 7 technique, and if you're out here, that's a 9. Okay, so whatever. They sue me. I always get people that like will be like, will say things like that, and every coaching staff calls them something different. And ask anyone, and they'll say, all right. So watch Josh Allen. He's out here. Just no shot, bud. It's absolute no shot, and he forces this quick dump off, and Devin Lloyd's able to clean that up. And I think looks like a penalty. Did that one that got called back? But I mean, look, you're gonna pull, and that's the thing is like you're gonna pull. Is that Quentin Nelson? You're pulling Quentin Nelson, one of the best guards in the league, to block Josh Allen, and Josh Allen is too athletic for the pull to work. Sorry, bud. Have fun on the ground. All right, here's him in pursuit. Again, let's try to figure out where he's at. He's here, lined up in what I call the 9. Okay. Look at my boy 45. Clavon. We'll give him a little asterisk. Look at Clavon out here. All right. Edge. Playing the weak side. Oh, play action. All right. So here's the thing here. I'm going to pause it right here. I like to gamble. I'll be honest with y'all. Not like a bunch of money and not anything that like, cripples my bank account. But I have found, personally, that gambling is a lot of fun. You can bet on games you would otherwise not be interested in. And now all of a sudden you have a rooted interest. So in no way do I bet like, am I one of these degenerates that's like, paycheck to paycheck on my gambling debts? But I do see the entertainment value. And I'm a budgeter, and you should be a budgeter too. There's 3 things you should budget, okay? Money, time, and sex. We're not going to go into that, but I'm a big believer in those 3 things. Big money budgeter guy, okay? So, if I'm betting who's winning this foot race, Anthony Richardson or Josh Allen, and I know that Josh Allen has the angle. I am well aware of that, okay? I understand how angles work, right? And I know he has less room to run, less distance to run. Regardless, I am betting on Anthony Richardson, the 4.3 40 guy, to make a huge play here. And this is, additionally, again, this is the thing that Josh Allen can do that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. It's not a pressure. It's not a sack. It's not a snap. Oh, it's a snap. I guess I got a little crazy there. But watch what he's able to do here. Anthony Richardson, this is what the Colts want. The Colts want Anthony Richardson in this situation. Josh Allen uses athleticism to push him out of bounds for a gain of 4. That should have been a huge gain by Anthony Richardson. Great job, Josh Allen. Great freaking job, Chief Reacher says. I want to hear more on the 3rd budget. I bet you do. I bet you do. All right, watch this. Yeah, look at that. Fell, turf monster. Nah, bro. I'm faster than you think, my boy. I'm faster than you think. All right, last play. We've reached it here, boys. Last play. Trevon Walker. We're not breaking it down. Just show us something here. Oh, what a punch. What a freaking punch. Can we look? Dude, if you're a D lineman, look at this punch here. Dude, just, hello. All right, maybe it's your hands to the face. I don't care. Freaking, they didn't call it. Look at this. Dude, just imagine just being like, oh my God, dude, he's probably concussed. Like, that's just a monster bear paw in the face. Let's go, boys. Let's go. All right, so sorry, that's a little part of a little bit of unhinged there film breakdown, but that's how we do it around here. Hour and 2 in. Listen, I just wanted to take a quick second because the show's over. I'll be honest with you. But I did want to take a quick second. I honestly, genuinely appreciate you guys that are here in the comments all the time. I really, really do. So thank you. C Reacher, Nolly Full Cab, 100 miles per hour, Duval TV, and all you guys. You guys are here every single show. I freaking love it. I love talking Jags. I would not be able to talk Jags without you guys. So thank you. You guys are awesome. Balefire Nasir Premier brought it tonight for sure. And I appreciate it. Listen, if I didn't get to your comments, being real, man to man, these film breakdown videos get more views than the other ones. So I like to just kind of get to the point on the film breakdown. But we always do shows that are more fan interactive during the week. We did a show last night. Okay, so make sure you have the notification bell on because I read every single comment that came on last night. Friday night, we're going to do a preview show. I'm going to read every single comment on that. Okay, so forgive me if I missed your comment tonight. Forgive me. Listen, you got to forgive. I'm not perfect, okay? We're all Jags fans here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Follow the Twitter. Follow the Instagram. I'm super pumped about the Jags-Chiefs game. Friday night, we're going to be doing a preview show where it's probably going to go off the rails the way that all of them have been going recently. Go back, if you like the video, go back and watch some of the other ones. That we've had some that have been out. But until then, I'll see you on Friday. I love